Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. I am your host, author Let. Thank you for tuning in for another fun filled week where we inform, inspire, and motivate. We get you going, get you going, get you going. So come on in and have a seat so we can let's talk. Every week, you guys, I tell you how you can view the show. If you want to view it live, you can watch it on Facebook, on my Facebook page, which is called Let's Talk with Author Gillette. And you can also, if you want to catch up and view it a little later and all the other shows, you can watch it on YouTube. And that page is also called Let's Talk with Author Gillette. If you want to purchase any of my books, you can go to my website, which is dtlproduct.net, or you can go on Amazon and type in my penmanship name, Let. And there you see the information scrolling at the bottom. So every week, I like to recognize my virtual studio audience and see who's checking in and what's going on. How you guys doing? Come on in the room and have a seat. Absolutely. Okay. So we have Carla, one of my faithful viewers, and she was also a guest on the show. Hey, sis, how are you? I hope all is well. And I see hubby, he's one of the producers. Mwah, I love you so much. He really worked with me this week on making this show extra special for you guys. So big ups to him. Love you, love you, love you. And let's see here. And we got my mommy in love in Vegas. And we have some other people viewing. I know you're probably too shy to say anything, but it's all good. It's all good. I see you watching. So for those of you that are watching this in a pre-recorded stage, just know that you can watch it live on Facebook, or you can comment, you can chime in, ask questions of the guests, and you can watch it there on the Facebook page. Let's Talk with Author Gillette. Or if you don't want to comment or ask questions, you can watch it live as well. So I just want to let you guys know about that. So, hot topics. This is a short hot topics. My goodness, my goodness. You guys, as I was watching the news and I was watching the immigrants from Haiti, it was just deplorable. I could not believe the treatment that they were receiving by the border control. The horses and the horse reins and what they were doing with them, and just such disrespect. I mean, I just could not believe it. It was a huge, huge difference in regards to how they were treated when we looked at other immigrants coming into this country. So my heart goes out to them. I'm so glad as of the time that I went live today, the 24th, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of them have been removed from the bridge, and I'm hoping and praying that they can seek asylum and eventually become U.S. citizens. So my thoughts and prayers are going out to them, and I just thought that was just horrific, horrific. You know, that was terrible. What do you guys think? Chime in and let me know your thoughts, virtual audience, and let me know what you guys are thinking. Again, I'm just glad that they, I hate to say certain names because then I get censored because Facebook don't like for me to be political. But I'm just glad that our people that leads us jumped in and took care of it ASAP and nipped it in the bud so that those immigrants wouldn't be treated horribly. So again, thoughts and prayers out to them. You guys let me know your thoughts there. So I'll check back in with you, virtual audience. So, you guys, today is Music Friday. Yes, new music. I'm so excited. So excited. This group that we have coming on later on tonight is St. OSHUN. They've been on before. They have decided to come on and show their newest music video that was filmed at Michael Jackson's mansion, the last place that he resided before he passed away. So it was shot there, and they're super excited. The video is amazing. You guys are going to love it, and I'm going to be showing that a little later on. So I have a little treat for you guys that I want to share with you, something that I've been working on. People always ask me all the time. They say, well, Drina, what's going on with your books and things of that nature. And so, the pandemic unfortunately pushed some things back, but that's okay. That's okay. So, all good things come to those that wait, is all I can say. So let me just share this with you guys. This is a little treat for me. So I want you guys to see this. And indeed, guys. That is basically my new book that's coming out. And so the first one, for those of you that read it, was called How Did I End Up with Him? And the second one I'm working on is called Lemons, Sugar, and Me. So you want to make sure you get that first book, How Did I End Up with Him? Get caught up on it. And if you read it already, read it again so you can be ready to go, because the second one is going to be hot, hot, hot. It's going to be fire. Yes, indeed. So I'm super excited about that. Like I said, the pandemic pushed some things behind, but that's okay. It is coming. All good things come to those that wait. So super excited about that. So I just want to check back in with my virtual live audience and just see what is going on. Okay, so Carla, reigning in from Atlanta, she said it's sad that Black people, such as the Haitians, are still considered as non-humans because of the color of their skin. Yes, Carla, that's horrific. I just think that we've got to do better. We have to. Like I said, the treatment and the things that other immigrants, how they were treated, it was just, it was a huge difference night and day. And we've got to do much, much better. So I just pray that they become US citizens eventually, definitely eventually. So you guys, without further ado, what I am going to do is I'm going to introduce my guest. I'm super excited. Saint Oshun is a musical group from Milwaukee. They're grounded in soul. Saint Oshun has been compared to Prince, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Doja Cat, and The Weeknd. Members C Dub and Portia believe that mindful lyrics and positive social media messaging can inspire and empower people to make change. So here's their new song and video filmed at Michael Jackson's mansion. And so here we go. I'm going to share their amazing video with you guys. This is a treat. So honored that they elected to share it with us.
Hey girl, what's wrong? You want bullshit for too long? No, I'll ride and I for you, babe. Fuck a retrograde, make that lemonade. Use a sweet thing, lady. Drop a fuck on what they say. They so low, you a diamond from all that pressure. Say you been through the grade. Your mama, daughter, babe. I love you through the babe. We gon' switch it up, shorty.
Status low key, come saucy. It is gonna talk when I'm closer and closely. 100%, I'll never forget. If I was spit out like slated. If anybody asking, got no time, I'm so fine.
Spotlight. Girl, stop playing all I'm saying, shorty vibe. I'ma make a movie star of you tonight. All these flashing lights and damn, you're so fine. Girl, recognize your spotlight. I wanna slow dance you on the floor. I holla at your boy, you know it's on. Really got us squatting like rock stars. Ain't no tripping, no, cause you know when love is gon' be yo. Wanna pull me so it's so slow. I've been loving you, been waiting long.
I'm a savage, low key, shine like clouds, yeah. It is never talk, no love, lost you, exhaust me. 100%, I'm so that bitch. If I was spit out like slated, if anybody asking, it's my time, I'm gon' shine.
Spotlight. Girl, stop playing all I'm saying, shorty vibe. I'ma make a movie star of you tonight. All these flashing lights and damn, you're so fine. Girl, recognize your spotlight.
This girl is on time. Don't sleep for me, the work it don't stop, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This girl is on time. I know I'm rocking cause I got it on lock, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spotlight, that's the light like a top light. Say you let her get a top right. We shine bright, this is spotlight, light, spotlight. That's the light like a top light. Say you let her get a top right. We shine bright, this is spotlight, light. Welcome to the spotlight. At the top lights flash like cop lights. So fly when we land, take a top flight. Low coast, first class, rock starlight. We came to move and come to lose. Turn up the volume, we made the notes. We on top now, ain't no coming down from here. We got the spotlight fame, we found it here. Yeah. Spotlight, girl, stop playing. All I'm saying, shorty vibe. You deserve the world, go get your spotlight. All these flashing lights, oh damn, it's so fine. Girl, it's not, so realize your spotlight. Girl, stop playing, all I'm saying, show the vibe. I'ma make a movie star, you tonight. All these flashing lights, oh damn, it's so fine. Girl, recognize your spotlight.
Outstanding, outstanding. Oh my gosh, they did an amazing job with that video. Oh my gosh. So without further ado, let me bring them on in the room. C Dub and Portia, the members of St. Oshun.
Hey.
You got a cat?
Hey.
Hi,
That,
how are you?
good. How are you?
Oh my goodness, that video was amazing. You guys did that.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. So, welcome back. I'm so honored that you came back and wanted to show your video with us. So, that's huge. That is huge. So,
Thank you for having us back.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, tell me, what's the story about Spotlight?
You want?
I mean, it's really Charles' story. So when we were songwriting, we often try to tap into like something that we've experienced personally, because then the writing becomes a little bit more profound. And Charles had two young ladies in his life during his well, you weren't like super young, but you still were a child. He was in high school, and they both were underdogs at some point, and he really wanted to champion them. And why don't you just tell her like exactly what their situations were?
So these two women in high school, both of them had made decisions that kind of made them outcasts. One had an abortion, and the other one was just super socially awkward. And so the school kind of decided that they were fair game to pick on, and so they could never seem to get past their past. So this song is really about, if I could go back in time and try and tell them what I wanted them to know, it was that you need to forget about what everybody else thinks about you. You just need to embrace who you are. And I can't fix everything for you, and I can't fix all of people's opinions, but at least for this moment, at least for this night, I want to give you the spotlight. I want you to know how important you are and how much you matter.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
And the lyrics are, I wish people would go back to the lyrics, because even sometimes when you write lyrics, you're like, oh, that's good, let's keep it that. But then I was explaining the lyrics to one of my sisters, and then I mean, it was just so deep. We were like, oh my god, these lyrics.
There's a whole lyric video if you want to see the lyrics.
But if you're not paying attention, it just sounds like a fun song. But yeah, some of the little hidden meanings were really, they had way more depth than when you just first kind of take it in. So
oh wow, that's so deep. I love to hear about the meaning behind a song. And
me too.
Oh my gosh. But the music and the dancers and Portia, my goodness, those outfits, girl, you was wearing those outfits.
There's a stylist here in Los Angeles that is also a choreographer. Okay. Her name is Othezi, and she's actually styled. I remember right before we hired her, she had styled, and they had just released one of Chris Brown's videos. So she's kind of a celebrity stylist, and she was the one that dressed me up in that big old hat and gown and that beautiful goddess dress. I mean, and we were just so rush on that set that I didn't even get a chance to take it in. I just put this thing on. I didn't even get a chance to like take it in. I was just like, let me just perform this song. But yeah, she dressed us that day.
Yes,
She
she
really did
did.
the thing.
Charles, you look good too. I got to give him credit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I
Those
appreciate it.
dancers were amazing. Oh my gosh, they were dancing their butt off. And I saw the trend of them on TikTok. Everybody's doing that little routine to your song.
Yes.
Yeah, the dancers. I mean, one of them dances with Jason Derulo. One of the male dancers is one of the head dancers for Little Nas X. So
Oh,
they're full time heavy hitter and dancers. Yeah, they were excellent.
Yeah, we wanted to we were really trying to like grab who we like, within budget, like who can we get on, that's winning at the game right now. So between Otheezy and all the dancers, like they were strategically picked.
oh wow.
They were amazing though. We loved them all and they really enjoyed the project.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that video was
And the visuals, I know that was probably the first video where we were like, let's just like make it happen. When we learned that I think I'm jumping ahead, but when we learned where we were doing it, and we can get to that.
Yeah, that's my next question.
Right. When we learned that, it was like it just sort of elevated the frequency of the whole thing. It's like, oh my gosh, like we need to make this amazing, and do what we need to do to make this amazing, and that's when, Otheezy came in and the dancers and, all that sort of thing. So
How did you guys end up shooting at MJ's house? How did that all come?
oh, she's just gonna drop it. I thought she was gonna ask the question, so I wasn't even trying to even say that part. Oh my god. Well, how did we end up shooting at MJ's house? So just to keep it clear, because some people don't understand the part that yes, it was MJ's home, but it wasn't Neverland. This was a mansion over in Beverly Hills. It's somewhere near Beverly Hills and Bel Air. I'm not sure. And he took his family there after he left Neverland, and that's where he passed away. So him and his kids were there. And they lived there for I don't even know how long, but people think it's Neverland. I'm like, no, it's not Neverland, but it is an amazing mansion. And I don't even think a lot of people knew he was actually there. Well, maybe they did. Who knows? We weren't even Los Angeles at the time. But so I just wanted to straighten that part out. But how did we get that location? I'll let you take over on that.
So the first person we haven't given any props to yet is the creative director, Ebony Ariel. She started out as our choreographer in The Joint, which is our last release. And then as we were talking to her, we said we really need a creative director. We feel like we need more structure. We need cohesiveness. We need a really big vision. And so the reason that I brought it up to her is because she was working on our choreography for that video. And I went into a lesson and she said, I can't get this song out of my head. I can see it. I can see the video. I can see the video. And so after she said that, we have been asking her, do you know any creative directors? And she said, well, actually, I do creative directing as well. So we said, oh, it kind of makes sense. You should just do it. You literally already told us before we even asked you the question, you can see the video. So as she started thinking, she said before COVID hit, she was actually going to do an unrelated video with this company called Pretty Party, which is a hair company, a hair extension company. But it fell through because of COVID, everything shut down. And so she said, let me hit them up because I know they have a mansion. Maybe we could use that mansion. This song feels like it needs a mansion. So,
and it wasn't the Michael Jackson mansion. Let's get that part straight.
Well, I can tell a story. I can tell a story, Portia. Believe it or not, I've been around long enough.
Y'all are so cute.
So she goes and she asks them. They hear the song. They set up a meeting, and so we sit down with them and they ask about the song. So we play the song again, and I tell them the story that I told you guys, and they said, "Wow, we have this mansion. We do have the Pretty Party mansion." But we actually have this other mansion that you guys might be interested in. It was the last residence of Michael Jackson. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in doing. And we had to play it cool because we didn't know him that well. We're like,
Oh my God. I was like flipping my wig like on the inside. I was like, wait, what? Did she just say that she's trusting us to shoot at Michael Jackson's mansion? I mean, I couldn't believe my ears. And this was one of the best collaborations you could ever strike up, because all we had to do, because people are like, how did you get that? Because I think a location like that would cost maybe like $20,000 or $30,000.
Wow.
And all we had to do in partnering with them was I had to do a little commercial with wearing their hair. Okay. And I had this awesome wig on, by the way, in the video. And just showcase their ponytails in the video. Cute. That was that's how. And this was our first lesson on this. And this is how you do business in Los Angeles. Like, you know, you make connections and you do collaborations. You know, because film and video sets and just the whole production of it can be extremely like expensive. So
and you did that well, how you showed it before the ponytail and you put it on and you flipped it.
Yes, that was Ebony, our creative director. That was her ideas on how we were going to showcase and elevate Pretty Party's product as well. And we actually did a bunch of a couple of more, maybe it was one or product placements in that whole video.
Oh yeah, we did another product placement as well.
Yeah, so we were
the grass. Yeah.
We were learning the whole product placement business, you know, concepts, you know. So it's been quite a journey and learning experience just with that one video. It was an amazing time. We had like 25 people plus ourselves, like helping us.
Oh my goodness.
It was my first time experiencing that. I was like, man, this is amazing.
Yes, that's it. And last time we talked, remember you said you have to envision it and it will come true, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
That is so awesome.
Oh yes.
My gosh. So you guys, you talked about who OSHUN was before, but how does she play a role in the music video? So is that a whole
OSHUN, the goddess? Yeah. I mean, why don't you take over?
So one of the really cool things about Ebony, the creative director, was actually, let me back up. So our marketing person's name is Gabby, and she did a really good job of creating branding for us and explaining OSHUN and how she ties into our brand. And for those people, if you don't know who OSHUN is, she is a Nigerian river goddess and one of the Orishas. Yeah, one of the 7 Orishas. So she's an African goddess. And in this particular video, after Ebony kind of read our branding and everything, she said, I can totally kind of make Portia embody OSHUN because OSHUN's colors are yellow. Oh. And so one of the things that you see throughout the video a lot is Portia wearing a lot of yellow throughout her outfits. And you kind of see it different parts where she's slow motions and she kind of embodies, if you've ever seen any pictures of OSHUN, kind of embodies OSHUN. So Ebony did a really good job of kind of capturing that vibe and kind of bringing that around, I think.
That's awesome. That was a beautiful dress, by the way. Yes, everything about that was amazing. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
What was the hardest part of shooting the video? Was it the dancing? Was it I saw you, Charles, in the pool there with your drink chilling.
Oh, that's actually we'll do an easy one first. Nobody knows this unless you see the BTS footage, which we haven't released yet. That was not a hot tub. It was a cold tub. When I got in.
No, only when he got in. It's a hot tub, but no one had turned it on.
Can I tell a story today? One story today.
You've told several stories.
So yes, it was cold. When I got in, it was so cold. I know I looked comfortable. I was not comfortable.
Yeah, you was chilling.
Yeah, and eventually somebody's like, turn the hot tub on.
Yeah, eventually the person that ran the place was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it wasn't on. So it was cold. Yeah,
I'm gonna say the hardest part for me. Actually, there was a few. Like when I don't know if you remember the waterfall areas that looked like a different location, but it was still the same location. It's still at the mansion on the grounds. Okay. There was the waterfalls, and it was the backdrop of at certain angles of the hot tub. but it was uneven surfaces, rocky, and this dress. Oh my God, that dress was all in the water, and they're asking me to dance, and dancing. I mean, I can do a little bit, but Ebony's coaching me from across the water, like, push down on your knees, bring your arms up. Do that. Yeah, that's fun. If you could only see the BTS, actually, we do have some footage, but that was difficult getting in and out of there. But one of the worst moments where I was like, okay, we didn't rehearse this. So they wanted all of the dancers. There was 6 dancers, and we were all paired up so that there's 3 couples. And there's a scene in the music video, where you see us dancing sort of calf to knee height water, but doing the routine. That already is a problem because nobody rehearsed it that way. So you have all this resistance on your legs. Like you're trying to move and you got to push through it. But get this, right there at the point that they wanted us to do it, it was slanting backwards. So we were all like,
no.
There was many times when Charles was yelling at me like, no. And then then the crew would be yelling back at me like, follow through. And I'm like, but he said no. He didn't want me to follow through because he was going to fall back.
Right. It'd be the end of the scene. I'd be all wet. And there wasn't 2 of those outfits. So
yeah, that was the thing. Like, don't fall in. And, don't fall in. Don't ruin the yellow dress because I could have fell in the over by the waterfall, or don't fall in the pool because I could have got all wet. Yeah, there was all of that. So that was the hardest part, but it was still fun. It was such a good time.
I think we haven't done anything heavy. So should I reveal the hardest part for me?
Yeah,
the hardest part. Do you want to do it?
Yeah. So this is going to get heavy, and then after this, we're going to move forward and make it light again. The hardest part for me truly it was literally, I got a call an hour before the shoot. My mom had passed away. Okay. So that was tough because I had to basically shut my mind off. When I got the call, I basically said, okay, I kind of have to pretend like I just didn't get that call, because if I process that right now, there's no way I can do this. So that was definitely tough because I just had to put that on the shelf until the shoot until the next day. So that was definitely tough.
And I just think you just did such an amazing job. Like you made a really great decision he didn't let anyone know on set until the next day.
Except for the creative director. I let the creative
director.
Just
Ebony knew. You texted me because I was getting my wig done like at 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And we got on set, and Charles was performing the hell out of all the scenes. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you didn't look like you had just received.
Nobody knew.
No,
nobody knew.
Sorry.
I know. I just thought that was really remarkable.
Yes, my condolences to you and your family.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's proud. She's looking down and she's proud.
She is. I think she is. She's gotta be like.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, what was the most fun part of the shoot, you guys?
Fun. It was such a whirlwind for me. Probably just the energy about it all. Like. Everyone was professional, but still having a good time. Our production crew, her name is Ashley. She was the head producer. I don't know how she did that, but that girl, we were already behind because I'm not going to name no names, but somebody really important was an hour late. And that put everything behind because we couldn't move forward without them. So with that said, and then I was running late because of my wig. So we were like 2 hours behind. I don't even remember. But this girl Ashley like kept us on task, but we still had a good time. We celebrated somebody's birthday, which in hindsight, I'm like, why do we spend so much time celebrating this girl's birthday? We needed to be like, come on, let's get this going. Because, like when we had to be out of there, we had to be out. Like, but I don't know. The most fun part was, it's kind of hard to say. I don't even know. Just probably the camaraderie and the.
I would agree with that. Everybody just had such a great attitude about it. Everybody knew that they had a job to do, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to leave. It really was a spirit of, this is fun. I love it. Let's keep going.
I've never had so many people saying, "Where's Portia's shoes? Get Portia, dude. It's this Portia, that." I felt like I had like 20 hands, of different people mixing their roles. Whatever they had to do, they just turned into like, let me just fill in this spot. Let me fill in that spot. So, I mean,
wow.
and that really is a shout out to Ashley's team, because Ashley's production team,
LR Productions,
Yeah,
shout outs,
shout
and
out.
Creative Vibes is
Okay.
the director's team.
Yeah, and it didn't even dawn on us till a little down the line, but we had hired an all black
Mhm.
crew.
Oh wow.
Like
that's
that
amazing.
whole thing
Mhm.
was led and developed and created and then executed by our black people up here in Los Angeles. Like they did the thing. We did the thing. Like,
Awesome. I love
yeah.
it. Black empowerment. I love it.
I know. I
That
was
is
like,
outstanding.
when?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, come
Absolutely.
through.
Oh. So tell me, what's up with your first live performance? Are you guys gonna perform the song anytime soon, live or?
Are we going to perform that song?
Mhm.
Yes, we're performing that song. We actually already performed. We did our first show in Milwaukee
Okay.
at big festival called Summerfest last week.
We opened up for Tower of Power.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, one of my favorite groups. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
And that was our first time performing that.
Mhm.
So
And it went over really well. People really like Spotlight. They
Yeah.
asked for an encore at the end of it.
They really did.
That was our last song, and they asked
they
for an
did.
encore.
They
yeah.
did ask for encore.
wow.
But we're performing that for the second time on October 1st.
October 1st, we're in LA at Molly Malone's. If
Okay.
you want to get tickets, you can go to our website, ST OSHUN.com. I think it's scrolling on the bottom, I'm guessing.
Yep.
But the ticket link is on there. That's October 1st at 10 p.m. We will be performing that song, The Joint, which is the release before this, Roundabout, which is the very first release, and then some fun covers, some Michael Jackson, some Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
my
forget who else
goodness.
we're covering. Oh, The Weeknd. Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah,
exciting.
which is so different than what our shows used to be.
Yes, our show looks very different.
It's
fun.
Bless you.
Yeah, because of all the covers. Because we're rebuilding our portfolio as Saint Oshun.
Oh shoot. Okay. I love it. I love it. You guys are making it happen. And I know last time you were here, you spoke it into existence. You know,
We
so
did.
positive. Yes, I love it. Absolutely love it.
We did.
So if somebody were to come out and see your performance, what's it like? Just let your hair down and just have a good time, or
Well, yeah, I guess so. We haven't performed
You
in
gotta
like
sell it, Portia.
a
Sell
year
it,
and a
Portia.
half.
Sell you ain't selling.
Wait.
that. I'm done. I'm dead.
y'all are too cute.
I'm dead.
So our very first performance was last week.
Okay.
Since then,
Why is he dead? I don't understand.
because he's like, you need to sell it. Why are you telling them the downside? Like,
Because we haven't performed in a year and a half. We rusty.
so with that said, no, I mean,
She's being
Like-
real.
all the other elements that we normally want to really polish up, we haven't gotten to yet. However,
Okay.
the show is way different and a lot more fun because Charles is doing a lot of the singing now. Holla.
Oh, okay.
So what can they expect? They can expect to see Charles doing a lot of vocals, a little bit of saxophone. I'm playing bass on a little bit. I'm doing leads too. We're just singing together.
Mhm.
I'm playing congas.
Mhm.
And just like you said, let your hair down. Like a lot of fun. Like we're there to have like a good time.
That's what it's
So
all about. Yes.
everybody that comes to our show, hey, don't be coming in with no attitude. Or if you do, know that you gonna drop it. You know, you gonna have to drop it.
That's it.
Like, don't be coming to my show with no stank attitude.
I love it. I love it. You guys, your whole persona and the flair you give off is amazing. So I know your live performances are fun. Definitely.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna get
We
on a
try to
plane
make
and
them
come out
fun.
there.
We try to
Definitely.
make.
So what's next after having the success with Spotlight? You guys got an album coming out. What's next?
Well, we're working on the next single,
Okay.
and we're like literally right now. Well, let me just start by saying we were working to release something in October um, that was called Caged. And after a month or two of working on it, it just wasn't. Because sometimes you got to just step back and be like, this ain't it.
That's what happened with Spotlight. It's the same exact thing.
Actually, yeah, the story of Spotlight, before the Spotlight that we released now, there was another version of it. It was just like, I'm not comfortable in putting a whole lot of money promoting this. Like, it's not where it needs to be. So the same thing had happened with Caged recently. And I want to say last week, or was it this week? It wasn't that long ago. I want to say maybe like 5
We
days.
were still no. We had just gotten back. Yeah, we had just gotten back from being in Chicago.
Last Friday, we paired up with a producer that we've never worked with, and we're like on the speed path right now, trying to like come up with another song so that we can drop it at the end of October.
Oh wow.
But it's right now, it sounds amazing. It's only been like a few days and we're pretty much almost done with it.
Oh.
But it might be called Your Eyes. I'm not sure, but we're writing it about something really heartfelt in Charles' lives, about one of his family members that, again, Charles always there trying to champion and believe in people, who turned out to, why don't you just tell the story?
So one of my cousins is had a pretty troubled life. She experienced being molested and raped as a child by her mother's boyfriend, and then her older sister was always kind of the perfect child, anyways, and so she always had to live under the shadow of trying to catch up, because she just wasn't the perfect child. She wasn't as smart as her sister. She wasn't as pretty as her sister. She wasn't as outgoing as her sister. And so I think along the way, she learned the way to get attention was to kind of be the bad girl. And so she went down a whole path of she left home. She ended up getting into prostitution. She got into drugs. She ended up getting AIDS. She struggled, and she's been in and out of rehab her whole life. And the reason that she popped into my mind is this song. The producer sent us a bunch of tracks. We liked this track. We started going around with some different melodies, and kind of like with Spotlight, I was like, I got to find something to hang on to, some kind of story. It can't just be nothing. There's got to be some kind of story. So I started flipping through a photo album that I had gotten from my sisters after my mom passed, and her pictures were all up in it. And she was young. She was very young. And it started triggering in my mind, like the fact that back then I could tell there was something that was always heavy, but in her eyes, I couldn't always tell. And so, the song is about, we still believe in you, because her dad, there's no judgment, because I understand she's messed up a lot. Her dad has given up on her. And so the song is really, again, about, we haven't given up on you. We know that as long as you're still alive, there's still a chance, that there's still a possibility for you to come through and to overcome this stuff.
Yeah, and the song is so good. Like
it's a dance song. It is a dance song.
That's the thing. Like, how do you make that out of a dance song? But it's like this slow dance song.
It's like Rock With You, kind of that feel.
Kind of. But the melody of that hook is so good. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's awesome.
It is. I was trying to demo the vocals, for ourselves and for the producer with the lyrics. I started crying.
You did. You really did with the lyrics. She started crying. She did.
Because I know her. I don't know her like you do because you grew up with her, but she's come to visit us on occasion a few times when we lived in Milwaukee. So
That's huge, and hopefully she'll hear that song and it'll spark
I
something in
I
her.
hope so. That's what I started crying because I was hoping she'd hear it someday, and I was crying because I was sort of being, I guess, sympathetic. I wanted to be, but yeah, it's like a love letter to her, that song. So
Oh, that's
that's
beautiful.
coming out October something.
End of October. We got to hurry up and get this video together and finish the recording.
Can you believe we're gonna try to do a video and release all this stuff?
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Remember, you were saying last time you were here, you got to speak
Mhm.
into existence. You can do it.
Mhm.
You gotta speak it and just run,
That's it. And run. That is so true.
run forward,
Oh
just
my
straight
gosh.
forward.
So, virtual studio audience, what are your questions for C Dub and Portia? I'm looking through here, and they said that's your video and your song is hot. It's amazing. They're
Thank
loving
you.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So glad everyone is
They're loving that
doing
video, and
it.
it's such a nice gesture of you, Charles, to write that for your family member. That's huge.
Yes.
That's definitely huge. So, if there was one thought you'd want to leave us with, what would it be? Because last time you got me all motivated, Portia. You got me going.
Right? You better bring it. We better bring something. Wow. Oh, I don't know. This has been such a trying last few months, just work
Oh.
wise. Help me out, Charles. I feel so beat up.
Anything you want to share? Anything you
Yeah,
got? Songs, performances, just anything. Any nuggets?
I think, yeah, I think that the number one thing that I would say is you have to understand that you can't be afraid of failure.
Oh my goodness.
There's a book I'm listening to again. I've listened to it a million times, and I'll listen to it a million more before I die, called Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. And I needed to hear it because we live in our safety zones almost our entire lives because it's comfortable and because we know we can maneuver and not really experience a whole lot of failure. But the problem is at the same time we're miserable, even though we don't want to admit it. And so we drink too much, or we do drugs, or we spend 15 hours a week watching TV, or we eat too much food, or whatever it happens to be, to cover up the fact that we're not really doing what we want. But in order to do what we want, we have to fail. Because if we were already at the point of where we wanted to be, we would have already done the things that we needed to do, but we haven't because we don't know how to do them. And so for most people, they think, well, if I make a mistake, that means it's not for me. No, if that were the case, nobody would ever walk. No one would ever talk. We would be sitting in diapers our entire lives.
Mm-hmm. So true.
We failed. We messed up. We messed up the bed a few times. We fell on our face when we learned to walk. We said the wrong word when we were a kid because we didn't know the right word for it. We failed over and over. But back then, there was never any stigma. There was never, you stupid idiot, you don't know that word for that. Or you idiot, you don't know how to walk yet. No, we understand that kids are going to mess up. But somewhere along the way, as we grow up, we become more and more afraid. And we think, well, if I'm not good at it right away, it's not meant for me. No, if it's in your heart, you have a desire, you have a duty to the rest of us, because the way that you do that, no one else can do it quite that way. And so you're going to have to fail into that. If you can't sing very well yet, you're going to have to take some lessons. You're going to have to practice. If you can't write, but you want to write a book, you're going to have to do that. If your parenting isn't up to snuff, you're going to have to read some books, get some counseling. But stop thinking that, well, if I don't get it right the first time or the second time or the third time, those are excuses to stay safe. Safe at the end of the day will make you more miserable than failing, because you have to basically say, my life isn't worth trying.
That's deep. I love it.
Failing forward.
Failing forward. I
My
love
favorite
it.
part about failing forward is most people think that this is something I got from the same book. Most of us believe that when you fail, you're heading away from success.
So true.
When in reality, every time when you do nothing, that's failing, really. When you take zero action, like I'm just not gonna try. But when you do try and you fail, you're not headed. So let's say this way is success, this way is failure. when you fail, failure isn't over here. When you fail towards success.
Gotcha.
Because you fall down, you take action, you mess up, like the little baby. I'm a little baby. I'm just gonna get up and start walking. I'm crawling first. Now I'm gonna get up and walk. Bloom. You're not going towards true failure, what you think is failure. You're going towards success. Because what do? You get back up, you learn something from it. Oh, let me just try again. I intuitively learned that maybe I need to balance this time. I don't know. And then you go towards success again, and then you fall again.
Yes.
But really, every time you take action and you screw up or whatever you do, it's really the biggest learning lesson to do it better the next time, and you're really moving towards success. And that is so brilliant, right?
Yes, it is. And it makes you stronger too. It's like, okay,
all of that.
It's like, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way now because I know I want to get there. Absolutely.
I think
that part, like we're always like, that's not for me. I failed. Huh? What? No.
We're going to keep going.
You're supposed to. Don't act like you're going to get it perfect because you ain't.
Right.
You have to expect to fail. You have to, the expectation is something is going to go sideways. You know, it is not going to be perfect. It never is.
Yeah, I think Portia, number one, hit something really powerful on the head. Number one, stop waiting. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Stop waiting for, oh, well, when my kids get out of school and when I have enough money and when my health, there's always going to be a reason not to start. Just do it. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it clean. Just do it. It's going to be a hot mess, but you will then have some feedback to be like, okay, you know what? I wouldn't do that again. But now you're already in the game. Okay, so now that I'm in the game and I know I spent $100 on that and that didn't work. Okay, let me try this. Let me try that. And you're getting more and more feedback. And along the way, all of a sudden, like you said, you're growing and you're learning. And you're beginning to say, okay, I won't do that anymore, but let me try this. Let me try that. And a combination of this. And that's the only way that you're going to get anywhere is if you keep trying. Just start today. Just start right now. Whatever it is, just start. And
because taking zero action, now that's true failure.
Absolutely.
That's failure.
Oh my gosh.
Don't get it twisted.
That's so
when
true.
you take action, there's no way you can fail.
No. And surround yourself with a good support system. Because if you've got haters and negativity around you,
yes,
right on down. Oh my
God. That's
God.
a whole nother thing. Yes.
Oh, yeah, true.
You have to surround yourself with people who are in the game with you, even if it's not the same industry. We're in entertainment. It doesn't mean we have to surround ourselves with people in entertainment, but it does mean we have to surround ourselves with people who are in a bigger game for themselves, because you're right. That's going to be the second thing is everybody else around you is going to be like, why are you doing that?
Right.
Why would you? That's so, I told you that wasn't going to work. Exactly. And you don't need any of that. You already got enough of that in your head telling you that. You don't need anybody else. And that is painful for some people, but you got to even cut off some family members sometimes, because some of the people that are doing that to you are your fam. So go to Thanksgiving, kick it with them on Thanksgiving. But other than that, Christmas, okay, cool. Other than that, you got to cut those people off because they're going to pull you down, because that crabs in the bucket thing is real. They're trying to pull you down so they don't have to look at themselves and say, why am I not doing anything?
That's deep. That's so true. So real. Oh my gosh. You all need to be motivational speakers.
You know what? You get empowered when you do a lot of listening and reading of some people might call them, I call it personal development books, like the book Failing Forward. But when you're listening to that and feeding yourself that constantly, day to day, even if I take, weeks off and I come back to it, it just fires you up. So I think all of us can do that and become motivational speakers. I mean, if you allow it to just sort of like just get into your cells and, you start talking to yourself that way. It's like we all get fired up. Like, let's all be motivational speakers.
That's
if I give anybody any tips, it would be that. It would be to make that a part, just like you take a shower every day. Just like
hopefully.
okay, just like you eat every day because everybody gonna eat, right?
Right.
Just like you eat every day and you sleep every day,
Mm-hmm.
you should at least take, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, because I know you religiously do 15. Because sometimes I bite off more than I can chew, and I'll do like, oh, I'm going to do 30 minutes to an hour of listening or reading personal development, and then you know it's hard to keep that up consistently. Whereas Charles is a smart one, 15 minutes a day. Because sometimes I'll be listening to something with him, and I'll be like, why you cut that off? That was good. He's like, because I'm done with my 15 minutes. I need to digest that 15 minutes. Oh,
That's
so if
deep.
you could just do 15
Yes.
minutes
Mm-hmm.
A
of
day.
reading something inspirational, okay, even be your Bible,
Yes.
inspirational, motivational, or something that's going to teach you something. 15
Mm-hmm.
minutes a day, they would
To
you
inspire.
game changer.
Absolutely.
Because even when you're like in the rain, you're in the darkest place of your life because they coming. I don't care
Girl.
how high you is today.
Yes.
That valley coming. that rain we all know is coming
Yes.
because that is just life. That's the world. That's our universe.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes, you will be armored. You will be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm not saying you ain't gonna feel the feelings of despair because you still feel them,
Mm-hmm.
but at least you won't. You instead of going way down here, you'll probably just go about there. You won't
Right.
go all the way down
Exactly.
where you're like, I just want to die. I'm so hopeless. 15 minutes a day, something inspirational, motivational, or instructional. We learned that from Les Brown.
Les Brown.
He said that
Yes.
one day. He said that, and we were like, ding, ding, ding. This was like probably like 7 years ago.
I mean, he said, which is such a good
Such a
point.
game changer.
He said you're inundated with negativity, especially if you watch the news, which I'm not sure why people spend so much time watching the news. If you need to know, take a few
Tell me
minutes.
a little bit. That's it.
But I know people that just have that on loop. That's
Mm-mm.
in your mind. That loop is in your mind. That's what you hear. That's what you see when you see somebody on the street. In your mind, that's your first interpretation of who they are because of what you've been hearing on the news. So you have to combat. You have to combat that.
Exactly.
You have to find ways, because same thing, if you're just watching regular TV, if you watch a lot of dramas, a lot of murder, whatever, you got to feed this mind some good stuff.
Exactly.
Or I feel like a lot of people that are inundated with that, they see victims and then they feel like a victim themselves. So that they feel hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what? Why are you giving to me? I've learned, I mean, I used to watch it too. I used to be that girl. But now I'm like, you know what? I want to give some energy to anybody that's down and out on their luck. Absolutely. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that for them. But if at the moment I don't have any intentions on creating change for that particular thing in the news,
That's it.
I don't really need to involve myself with it. Like, it's like, why are you letting that like just completely bring your entire soul down? Because that's what it does. Like, are you doing anything about it or no? Because if you're not, if you have no intentions on doing anything about whatever this tragedy is, then maybe just leave it out there. Send them a prayer.
That's it.
Don't let it come across your screen.
Exactly. You know, when all the movies on all the streaming services, I try to find something funny that's gonna make me laugh.
Funny.
Gonna make me feel good.
Good. He's notorious for that. Like, we don't get a chance to watch too much TV. I wanted to say programming because now it reminds me of when we just had this conversation of like, remember when your parents, your grandparents used to call it programs instead of the show? Oh, did you see that TV show? No, the programs. But the programming, before we go to bed, we don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV programming, but before we go to bed, we'll like just to unwind, like together, we might be like, oh, let's watch one of our favorite shows. But most of the time, Charles is like, I don't want nothing heavy. Like, I've already had a heavy day. Like, he'll watch the same thing. He done seen, there's one show, he probably done seen, I don't know, all the seasons, all 12, 15 seasons.
There ain't no 12. You talking about My Name is Earl?
Yeah, 8 seasons.
There's like 5.
He done seen all 5 seasons maybe like 20 times. I am not making that part up.
Might have been
20.
20. It might have been
See,
20.
see, and it's because it makes him laugh, makes you laugh so much.
Yes,
Like,
Makes
I
me
can
laugh
totally relate. Oh my gosh, I
and
do
it
that. My
raises
husband
my
say the
frequency
same
because he's trying to become a better person. That's the whole
thing.
premise of the
Right.
show.
Like my husband say, you watching that again? I'm like, because it just makes me laugh. It makes me feel good. So I
Mhm.
totally get
laughter
it.
is a healer. Like people don't
Yes,
know, they sleeping on it. Sleep is a healer too. Both of those. Like get your sleep, get your laughs. Like,
that's
and
it.
you can do them back to back. Get your laughs,
Yep.
and so you can relax and then go to sleep. Like
Right,
some of
right.
the best healing.
Oh my
People
gosh.
are sleeping on the sleep
Oh,
and the
so
laughs.
you guys hit all the points of why this podcast or this show was developed to inform, inspire, and motivate. You're so right. You need some of that in your life, and I try
Mhm.
to have guests on that fits in those realms. So
Yes,
definitely,
exactly.
definitely.
Like if you can get a spouse or friends that make you laugh,
Yes.
people that have like really good humor
Like
and
Dean.
relaxed.
Yes.
D.
Dean and Jerome, they come on, they crack jokes. Yes.
Right, exactly. A TV program, anything that's gonna make you feel really good about life, about your own life, make you
Absolutely.
laugh. Like that's just it right there.
That's it. That's it. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on. You lifted our spirits. You got us going. Watching that video.
Yes.
Now the ladies can go get their glam on, like Portia.
Then that is not the everyday portion. Like I don't even like even I put on a little bit of a beat on my face just for this. Like
Oh. Well,
yeah,
you
I
do
did
that
not wake
good,
up like this.
girl. And Charles, you
But
do
I
that
do like dressing
good.
up though. Let's get that
Yes. Well, I see big things for you all, definitely. And when your next song you release it, please come back and share it with us and tell everybody, in case they're not watching right now, but they're listening, how they can follow you. I know it's scrolling down there, but
Okay. So the simplest way is every social media platform is the same. You can search Saint, the abbreviation Saint, ST Oshun, OSHUN, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. It's all the same. Our website is the same, STOSHUN.com. That's our website. If you go on YouTube, it's also ST. There would just be a space, ST space OSHUN on YouTube. Spotify is the same, ST space OSHUN, and Apple Music. So you see a pattern here, ST OSHUN, either with a space or without a space, you will be able to find us.
right. So that's Apple
awesome.
Music, that's Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram,
Instagram.
the TikTok. We're now on TikTok. That is
Yeah, I
new.
love it. I love
We're on
it.
TikTok, y'all,
Yay.
doing some videos. So yeah,
Outstanding.
hopefully we can see everyone there. Let us
Yes.
know. And if you do follow us on any of these platforms, please let us know that you found out about us and you saw us on Let's Talk with
Yay.
Trey Lab.
Yes. Well, you guys are welcome here anytime. Thank you so much for coming on. I wish you much success and just keep doing your thing, guys. So proud of you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks, Trey.
Talk to you later.
Hearts.
Bye bye. They are amazing. Oh my gosh, I love them. Just the fact that they motivate and give inspiring words. I love them. Amazing, amazing. So you guys check out their video. It's on YouTube. Like they said, it's everywhere streaming. So thank you, Portia and C Dub Simashun for coming on. So honored. So as I close out the show, guys, I want to leave you with this thought. This is a positive thought that I got off the page of Power of Positivity on Facebook. And so basically, what it says is without rain, nothing grows. Learn to embrace the storms of your life. And that's exactly what Portia was talking about. You're going to go through some tough times, but don't let them get you down. Learn something from them and be strong from them. And surround yourself with positive, loving people that are there for you. Get the negativity out and surround yourself with positivity. So, as I tell you guys every week, make sure you do one good thing for one person each day, and you can affect 365 lives. If no one has told you today or this week that they love you, just know that I love you. I'll see you here back next week. And with those words, be safe out there. I'm out.